Hello everyone, welcome back. In this tutorial, we are going to understand different operators in JavaScript. JavaScript supports a variety of operators. It has arithmetic operators, it has assignment operators, and string operators, and comparison operators, and logical operators, and finally, we have one important one, a ternary operator. So we are going to see each one of them. But in this tutorial, in this session, our main focus is on the arithmetic operators. So let's get started. Here, arithmetic operators. These are all the different arithmetic operators. We have the addition, subtraction, multiplication. These are all simple. These are the concept that we know from our school days, isn't it? X equal to y plus 2. It means that, let's say here, in all cases, y value is 5. Y value is 5, so 5 plus 2, 7. So the x value will be 7. Similarly, minus and 5 into 2, multiplication 10. Division. Here, y value is 5 by 2. The value of x is 2.5. So here in JavaScript, it is going to do the division, the fractions. So till here is very common. But here there is one special, these three are special in JavaScript. A modulo operator, increment operator, and decrement operator. If you see the increment of this one, right, modulo operator, it is a modulus. We call this modulus or modulo operator. It is used to extract a remainder in the division. So let's say here you take this, right, 17 modulo 3. If you look at this example, 17 is a dividend and this is a divisor, and we call this as a quotient, right, and 2. Here 3 into 5, 15, and the remainder we got 2. So if you want the remainder in your output, if you want to extract the remainder, then modulo operator is used. So similarly here y is 5, so 5 by 2 means we have a remainder 1. So that's x value. And next 2, increment and decrement. So let's go and see increment operator. So increment operator is used to increase the value of a variable by 1. And there are two types of increment operators. We have the pre-increment and we have the post-increment. They both actually do the same thing. What they do is they increase the value of a variable by 1. So let's see an example here. So pre-increment. This is called pre-increment. So you have the plus plus a. Since we have the operator in the beginning, so it is a pre-increment. So what is going to do a equal to a plus 1, because it is going to increment the value by 1. So that's how it's going to do. But what exactly happens in the backend, or what exactly happens during running is it returns the value of operand after adding 1. So first it will add the value, and then it will return. Okay. Similarly, we have post increment. So this is also, it's going to increment the value, but behind the scenes, what happens is it returns the value of its operand before adding 1. So here, after adding 1, it is going to return. So before adding 1, it is going to return. So let's understand this with help of example here. Here, where x equal to 3. Here I have the pre-increment. Output will be 4 because x value is 3 and we are going to increase x equal to x plus 1, so which is 4. Similarly here also, x is 3, x plus plus this time, post increment. Same thing will happen because x equal to x plus 1. That's what is going to happen. 4, 4. But the behavior of post and pre-increment varies when you actually use it in the expression like this. See, x equal to 3 here, and where y equal to plus plus x here. See here, the output will be x value will be 4 and y value will be 4. But here, if you look at the second one, x equal to 3, y equal to post increment, x plus plus, which is a post increment. Here the output will be x value will be 4, but y value will be 3 only. So if you see in the background, what exactly happens is when you use y equal to plus plus x, what exactly happens behind the scene is, so this is how it is going to run. First, it will increase the value, pre-increment, x equal to x plus 1, and then it is going to assign that value to the y. This statement will be executed like this. Okay, so that's how x value will be 4 here and y value will be also 4. That's what we have seen. But in this case, y equal to x plus plus. First value will be assigned y equal to s. Why? Because it returns the value of operand before adding 1. So it is going to return its value before adding 1. So that's why y equal to x, and then you are going to increment by 1. So here at this point x value is still 3, isn't it? So that's why y value will be 3 and x value will be 4. So here after adding 1 it is going to return. So that's why we are doing the increment before. Here we are doing the assignment first. So that's the main difference between pre-increment and post-increment. Similarly, we have a decrement as well. Same concept, pre-decrement, post-decrement, and the same example here. Here x equal to 3 minus minus. It means the value will be 2 because it will do a equal to a minus 1. Similarly, it will be 2. The behavior will change when you use it in the expression like this. See, y equal to minus minus x here means that first, since it is a pre-decrement, first it decrease the value. So x equal to x minus 1 and then assign that value. Similarly here, post. So first assign the value here and then decrement the value. Increment and decrement operators are very important, especially when you're solving problems. So now if you look at this table, increment, right, x equal to plus plus 5. Here y value is 5, right? So first it will increment the value. So it will become 6 and then assign that value, isn't it? So that's why both are 6. But here first it will return whatever the value of y. Value of y is 5, so that's why x is 5, and then y will be incremented. Similarly for a decrement as well. Now let's jump into browser and explore all of this with help of the examples. Here I have the Chrome browser. Just go to inspect. Just 10 plus 20, 30. We can also give a equal to 20, where b equal to 30 and a plus b 50, and similarly we have a minus b, which is obviously minus 10, and multiplication a into b 600, which is 20 into 30, isn't it? And finally a division, a divided by, so let's divided by 50 divided by 10, which is 5. If you give anything value 8, so which is here a floating point number. So let me clear that. Now let's try a modulo 1. A 5 modulo 2. It is 1, isn't it? Let's say 17 modulo 3. 2. We can also use variables to store where a equal to. Now a will have that value. So that's all the basic arithmetics. Now let's try increment, pre-increment, where x equal to 3. Okay. Now if you do x plus plus, okay, see now it is returned. Now let's see the value of x. It is 4, isn't it? See, in this case, why it has returned 3 means first it is going to return the value of x, then it will do the increment because it is a post increment, right? See, if for example now the value of x is what, 4, right? Now let's try plus plus x Now expected output is, first it will increment the value, it will become 5, and that value will be returned, isn't it? So let me clear. So where x equal to 3, where y equal to plus x. Okay. Now y value 4, x value is also 4. Let's assign x equal to 3 again. And where here plus. Now if you see the y value, it is 3 only, but x value becomes 4, which is expected. So let me clear. Let's see the minus, where x equal to 3, y equal to minus x. Y is 2, x will be also 2. Similarly, you don't need to declare each and every time. Once you declare, that should be good enough. Minus. Now y value will be 2, x will be 1, because we have not again reset the value to 3. So those are all the examples for the arithmetic operators. Now let's go back to PPT and try to solve one problem. Here is a problem statement. Print the last digit for a given number. So it means that there is a number given for you and you have to print the last digit from it. So for example, here is a number. So where n 1, 2, 3, 4. And you need to find a solution to print a last digit, which is 4, right? Just think for a minute. You have learned all the concepts to solve this problem. You just pause the video and think for a minute and try to find the solution. Okay, now if you find the solution, then you are good. So the solution is simple. Just do n modulo 10. See, if you do that right, then you will get the last digit, isn't it? See, this is a small math, and you know this is one of the most important point when you're trying to solve a big problems. You see, very simple, right? You know what is a modulo operator, and you know it is going to return a remainder. But what is actually missing is, if you divide it by 10, if you use modulo of 10, it is going to return the last number as always a reminder. So that is the thing that you should catch. Learning concept is not just good enough, especially when you're learning programming. You should always try to apply your concept, whatever you have learned, while solving the problems. That is a most important skill right now. Your problem solving skills should improve. How it is going to improve? You try to apply your whatever the concept you have learned into the problems. See the simple solution, right? Now let's see one more similar problem. Let's say a given a number and you want to remove a last digit from a given number. So previously we were asked to print the last digit, but in this, remove the last number. So for example, I have the 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have to print without the last digit. So I have to print 1, 2, 3. You just pause the video and think for a minute. Okay, now the solution is simple. And the first thing I would like to tell is, we have not learned all the concepts to solve this problem, but we have learned one important operator that will be used to solve this. Simple. Solution is n divided by 10. If you do like this, right, then this is the output, isn't it? 123.4. This is not the complete solution. Now we need to find some way to remove the decimal, isn't it? So that anyway we are going to see in the coming lectures. But my point is, if you do like this, right, divided by 10, then the last digit will always go to the fraction part, decimal part. and then later we can remove that. So there is a way that I'm going to tell you. So with the help of that, we can solve this problem. And these two are very important problems. Getting the last digit using modulo and removing the last digit from the given number. These two are the very important logic and used a lot when you're actually solving prime numbers problem, which is a very big problem, and palindrome problem, which is again a very, in those problems, these two logics are used a lot. Okay. That's all I wanted to tell you in this session. Please practice each and everything. Thank you all. See you in the next session.